Again, for members of the media on the line, please press star one at this time to get in the queue for Coach Brown. Before we get to questions, Coach, could you get us started with an opening statement on your expectations for this upcoming season?
We've had a good fall camp. We're sitting here. I think we've had 22 practices so far. We're in relatively good health for this time of year coming out of fall camp. We have high expectations for this season. Coming off a 10-win season last year and return a lot of the key pieces, especially on offense. All our production from a year ago returns. We've got to replace 3 starters on the offensive line. Defensively, we've got a good combination of some guys that have played a lot of football mixed in with some youth. We're gonna play 6 true freshmen and 2 other guys that have never really played in the game. So we're gonna take and play 8 first-time defensive players when we play Boise on Saturday. So we'll have our hands full. We're looking forward to going out to the blue turf, and really we're looking at it as a measuring stick game. We're going to find out where we're at early in the season.
Coach, thank you very much. We'll go to our first questions from Kyle Kensing of Athlon Sports.
Good morning, Coach. I was working on a story about Brandon and just kind of wanted to get your impressions, one of your first impressions of him coming into the program, and also how you've kind of seen him grow in your time there.
Well, I think he's grown from what it was a kid with a lot of potential that started as a redshirt freshman the year before I got here. And when I came in, I was watching film and getting to have the opportunity to work with him for the first time in the spring of 15. He's a guy that was talented, had a lot of potential, that was accurate with the football, and didn't know a whole lot, didn't know how to prepare, didn't know how to prepare his mind or his body. And now over the course of 2.5 years, just not anything that really we've done as a staff, but more what he's done individually is he's matured. He's matured from a kind of a kid to a grown man, somebody that's grown into a leader on our football team, and is really realizing the potential that he has. And I think if you look at him, you know, as far as senior quarterbacks, I like our guy as much as anybody in the country.
And when you mentioned that not necessarily knowing how to train himself, is that something that you put emphasis on in coaching him, or was that kind of an innate thing that he was able to take on his own?
No, I think it's a maturation process. You know, he was a multiple sport athlete in high school. He came from a program where he had 2 really good high school coaches, and his high school teams had moderate success. Now, they had good success for that high school, but that high school hadn't had a lot of success. And he got thrown into the mix as a redshirt freshman. And quite frankly, offensively they weren't as good around him as probably what he needed as a redshirt freshman. And as we've gotten better, and he's learned how to prepare going into football games, and he's just grown. You know, I mean, you learn so much. There's no replacement for experience. And now he started a lot of games. He's seen a lot of things. And I think that you're seeing not only his talent in the last year and a half or so really step to the forefront, but you're also seeing a lot of his hard work from a preparation standpoint.
Thank you.
Kyle, thank you very much. Coach, one final question before we let you go. Can you give us your scouting report on Boise State as you've been preparing for this opening game?
Yeah, I mean, when you turn on the film, they're what you expect of the Boise program, and that's a program we've got a lot of respect for. I think they've grown into the preeminent program in the group of 5, and that's where we'd like to take our program. Offensively, they're led by the quarterback, Brett Rippon, who's really talented. He's an accurate passer. He can make all the throws. They've got a receiver that's an NFL player without question. And number 1, Cedric Wilson. They always are long on the offensive line. They give you some issues with they shift in motion multiple times before the snap. Defensively, I think that's where they're underrated. I think if you look back over the last 15-plus years and what they've been able to do, it's always been led by a defense that plays attacking football. They stop the run. I think they've done a good job in the recruiting process, picking long guys They've got a defensive tackle by the name of David Moa, who is an all Mountain West guy. They've got a linebacker, Vander Esch, that I think is extremely talented. But it's going to be a tremendous challenge for us to go on the road in week 1 and play against a team that's annually in the top 25.
Well, Coach, thank you very much for joining us this morning, as always, and best of luck in the first game against Boise.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. And, again, that was head coach Neal Brown of Troy. The Trojans are opening their 2017 season this Saturday at Boise State.